In this video, you're going to learn how to use 6 verbs that often confuse people. Lie versus lay, sit versus set, and rise versus raise. We're going to start with lie and lay. Lie means to rest, to recline, or to be in a certain place. It does not take a direct object. And what you're going to see in this video is that whether or not the verb takes a direct object is the main difference between each of these pairs. So lie does not take a direct object. Here are your 4 principal parts of the verb lie, worth memorizing, because another place people get confused, especially with lie and lay, isn't just in knowing which base form to use, then they don't remember what the present, past, and past participles are, so it causes even bigger problems. The base form of lie is lie, obviously. The present participle is lying. The past form is lay, and the past participle is have lain. I'm going to lie down before dinner. The dog is lying beside me on the couch. So rest, recline, to be in this place, no direct object in either of those sentences. She had just lain down when the baby cried. Same thing there. No direct object. Lay means to put something in a place, to position it. So you need that something, and that's where the direct object comes in. That's why lay has to have a direct object, because by definition, you're taking a thing and you're putting that thing somewhere. So you have to have that thing, and that's your direct object. Here are the principal parts of lay. The base form lay, present participle is laying, past is laid, and past participle have laid. Please lay that book on the chair. Book is the direct object. I'm putting it there. My daughter is laying the blanket over her dolls. Blanket is the direct object. She laid her yoga mat down beside me. Mat is the direct object. And that's really the difference. So number 1, look and see if you have a direct object. Number 2, double check that you actually know the different principal parts of these verbs and that you're using the right one. Sit versus set. Same idea here. Sit means to be in a seated upright position or to be in a place similar to lie. Just like lie, it does not have a direct object. Here are your base forms, pretty straightforward. Sit is sitting, sat, have sat. Adrian is sitting next to me, no direct object. I sat on the couch and watched TV all day yesterday. Again, no direct object. For set, just like with lay, you need a direct object because you're taking something and you're putting it somewhere. In fact, lay and set are kind of synonyms. So here are your principal parts. Set is setting, set and have set. Please set the picture frame on the mantle. Picture frame is my direct object. Joey is setting the table for dinner. Table is the direct object. Rise versus raise. Rise means to go up or to get up. It does not take a direct object. Here are your principal parts. Rise is rising, rose, and have risen. Abby rose from her seat and walked out the door. The students' hands were rising in response to the question. Often we talk about students raising their hands. And that is how we say it when hands is the direct object. But in this sentence, it's the hands that's the subject, and the were rising is the verb, and there is no direct object. Raise means to lift up or to cause something to rise. And it needs a direct object because once again, just like with lay and set, you have a thing. by definition, that thing is being lifted or moved. And so you have to have a direct object to use the word raise. Here are your base forms. Raise is raising, raised, and have raised. Please raise the blinds so that we can get some natural light. Blinds being our direct object. The students raised their hands in response to the question. So now we can use raise because I have a direct object, hands. Here is a little practice for you to do. This is where I suggest pausing the video, recording your answers, and then starting the video up again to hear the correct answers. Number 1, that envelope has lain or laid unopened on your desk for several days. So the first thing we want to do is figure out, do I have a direct object? The answer is no. We do not have a direct object. So we need to use lie. And now I want to go back and double check that we know which form to use. And since I have has, that means I'm going to use the past participle. So lain is the correct answer. Number 2, please rise or raise your hand if you would like to speak. Okay, so I have a direct object, hand. So raise is the correct answer. Number 3, I really need to sit or set down after walking 5 miles. Is there a direct object? No, nothing is being set, so therefore I need to sit. Emily lay or laid her pencils and erasers out on her desk before the exam. Here we use laid because we have a direct object, pencils and erasers. And finally, I don't know where to sit or set this casserole. The table is full. We have a direct object with casserole, so we have to set it down.